Hey everybody, and welcome to the JobsPlus JobsCast, episode 5. We're talking with Shirley Rowser of Syracuse City School District, but before we do that, you'll notice I'm not kind of in my usual setup. I came out on the other side of the desk because I really want to talk to you real quick about an opportunity that you have right now. I am speaking with a number of employers behind the scenes about their need to develop their workforce. So many of them are lacking in workforce that they're doing a little bit more than maybe they would do a few months from now. I'm seeing signing bonuses. I'm seeing a higher pay rate right now because employers are so adamant about building their workforce back up because they have products and services to deliver and they need your help. This is a great opportunity for you. We're going to be talking to Shirley Rowser today, like I said, and when you get an email from Shirley Rowser, the very bottom of that email says building our future, and you're going to hear her talk about their strategic plan, their mission and vision for Syracuse City School District, but I want you to catch the focus on the future. Right now it's easy to stay where you are, you're comfortable, you've got opportunities to be with your kids, and those are great opportunities to seize. But what I don't want you to miss is the opportunity to get back to work at potentially a higher pay rate than you might see in, say, September. Nobody knows when exactly benefits are going to change and things are going to go back to the way they were in terms of what we understand as normal. But I don't want you to miss what's happening right now. And I don't want to scare you and think that in September it's all going to drop off. But that's kind of the magic number a lot of people are thinking about. And I don't want you to be left behind. So today, as you listen to Shirley, I want you to think about, I've got to be building my future. I've got to be taking care of my kids. I've got to be taking care of where I'm going. And right now is the time to seize that moment and that opportunity. So with that, we're going to jump over to our conversation with Shirley. I'm going to go get behind the desk, and I'm really excited to have this conversation today and to focus all of us on building our future. So join me. So Syracuse City School District has these ambitious goals and an unwavering belief that by recruiting, developing, supporting, and retaining an effective, diverse staff, all their students will graduate prepared for successful transition into higher education, careers, and active citizenship. So today, Shirley is going to join me here to tell you how you can be a part of that. And Shirley, as I bring you on the screen, talk to us about the Syracuse City School District and what you love about being employed there.
Thank you, John. First of all, I just want to say that just recently they talked about this in our one of our newsletters that I'm actually an SCSD graduate, so I'm an alumni, and that brings me to the point that I'm here because of that, because they're the ones that really got me started. When I graduated, I went right into a career. But in the same token, I came back because I still know that the Syracuse City School District has a lot to offer new employees. And we do have a strategic plan that incorporates a lot of things that new employees will find that they're really valuable when they arrive here. And I'm just going to go through them really briefly if I have a few minutes, John. Can I do that?
By all means, please do.
Certainly. Okay, right now we have 5 strategic priorities. The first one being engaging families and communities. And we find that in order to be true partners with our families, we do need to engage them for the success of their children and our students. And the second one being implement culturally responsive practices. And with that, we feel that teachers and leaders need to understand each other in order to be effective in what they do and to have our students know that they're being cared for, they're being supported in everything that they do. And it also just be totally successful in their plans here as well as after the future. And then our third is to recruit, develop, support, and retain the most effective, diverse staff. Now, that's where I come in at. I do work in recruitment, and we are constantly looking for people that are used to urban setting, live in the city or beyond. But our goal is to have staff that's comprised of the most talented and effective people reflecting our amazing diverse community, which is very amazing. And we here at the Syracuse City School District, we have students that speak over 70 languages. Our employees are cared for, valued, and respected, and in turn care for the value and respect of our students as well as their families. So that's number 3. I'm going to go right here to number 4. and it's personalized learning for our students. And our goal is to set and monitor meaningful and ambitious goals to achieve them through learning experiences that leverage their strengths, needs, interests, and cultures. And we have dynamically over 18 schools that have language that are offered. I mean, English languages that world English, I'm saying it wrong, world language classes that are offered in 18 of our schools. We have E&L programs offered in 26 of our schools. And this is something that, for us is helping us to reach our goal. And the last one, provide dynamic, rigorous curriculum and instruction. And our goal is for students to achieve proficiency in all subject areas and are critical thinkers and problem solvers. And those are basic needs that we could use not only in our education base and in school, but as they go out in the future to their jobs and other higher education of learning. So those are the key things for our strategic plan. And with what I have today are several jobs that we're looking at to hire. And I don't know, John, if I should bring them up now, but I do have some jobs here that we're going to be hiring in. So just let me know when you want me to introduce those.
Yeah, that's actually coming up right now. And I just want to state that, I mean, you guys really established this mission and vision, throughout every single role that you hire for. I mean, I'm looking through the job descriptions and it's right there that everybody shares that responsibility to teach
Everyone.
and to educate at every level. And it's such, I'm getting chills just thinking about how seeing each person at every level be a part of that is just really incredible to me. So yeah, go right into exactly those roles that you have. And I'm just going to encourage everybody to keep that in mind, that in all of this, no matter what you're doing, you're part of that overall vision for these students in their future.
And I just want to reiterate, John, you summed it up really good. And every position that we have here at the Syracuse City School District is a dynamic position because you're going to be in contact with our students. And students going to watch you, see you, listen to you. And that's why it's important that when we hire folks, that they keep those 5 strategic things that we have listed in mind. So the first one I'm going to go over is our bus attendants. And bus attendants, I'm just going to go over briefly what some of their duties are. And first of all, some of the work duties would be to accompany the school bus for purpose of assisting the students, help young pupils to cross the highway safely, maintain order on the bus and make certain that all our passengers are seated while the bus is in motion, as well as assist the pupil and the driver as they exit, as well as on the bus. So those are just basic things. And then also the requirements and skill sets would be a minimum of a high school diploma. And then you get familiar with the various bus routes and stopping places for the students, and the ability to understand and follow oral written instructions. So those are some of the basic requirements. It's a 25-hour position, which means that you would work some few hours in the morning, 2.5 and 2.5 hours in the afternoon. And that's so you can get them on the bus to attend school, and then after work to exit to go home. And it's a 10-month job, which means that during the school summer, if you wanted to do something extra, we do have like part-time jobs that people go take in the summer, but it is a 10-month position. And the hourly rate right now is $12.50. And with that, fingerprinting is required for all of the positions that we have. And with that, it does have a cost of $102. But I believe it's my understanding that JobsPlus will assist you with that. Am I correct, John?
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed that we're gonna hit that once more at the end, but there's a way to cover that. So stay tuned right here at the bottom of the podcast here.
Stay tuned. So the next one I have here is the teaching assistant. And the teaching assistant position, there's a variety of different duties that are required. You do need a minimum of high school diploma, and at which upon being hired, you will be required to become level 1 TA certified, teaching assistant certified, which we will go into that, once you are ready to be hired, what that entails. But it's New York State driven, New York State education driven, but we will give you all that information. And then also the essential job functions for this would be basically provide support for the teachers, assist pupils and the students in available instruction resources, assisting in development, instructing, creating instructional materials, and utilize your own special skills to help students. If you're a parent or grandparent, usually you can bring some little extra skills in that way. And there also might be the need to help with some toileting needs, as well as feeding needs, lifting students when needed, or pushing students in the devices such as wheelchairs. So that will be one of the things, and that also requires the fingerprinting. I should just say that all our jobs do require security clearance. And as John said, we'll talk more about that at the end. And the next position is a substitute teaching assistant. And pretty much it's the same duties of a teaching assistant, but you do so at your leisure. You would get to pick the days and times that you would like to work throughout the day. You would just say, if I'm available this week or if I'm available this day, you would select those dates. But the duties would be the same as if you were a full-time TA, but you get to select your schedule. And once again, these are all 10 months employees. 10-month positions, I should say. Substitute teacher. And substitute teachers require a minimum of a bachelor's and 2.5 on your GPA on your transcript. And basically, this position also fills in for teachers, and you would also be required to come up with a plan for the day should you take a teaching assignment for that day, just in case there's something that maybe you can't present on the day that you choose to work. But if you could do your own lesson plan, just at least one that you could bring with you, that would be great. And that's 7 hours to 8 hours, because there are a couple of our schools that require an extended day attendance, and those you would get when you start working here. There's several schools that requires that. But just so you know, we have 34 schools at the Syracuse City School District. And the last one is school rec aide. Now this job, a lot of our bus attendants take this as a part-time position. And the reason for that is because during the middle of the day, after they finish their assignments in the morning, they're usually done about 9 o'clock a.m. So what they'll do is use that time to work as a rec aide, and that's helping in the lunchroom, like helping to disseminate the food, help to collect the discarded items, that sort of thing, and just work with the students, make sure they get back to their classroom on time. So that's the kind of position for that we use in conjunction with the bus attendant. So should you want to do that, that's also available to you. So I think I've covered each of the positions that we're currently hiring for. And each of these, I should say too, the bus attendant and the teaching assistant, it also comes with tuition, if I didn't. And that means that you can join the career ladder. And the teacher's assistant, once you get your certification, you can join. Bus attendants, they can join right away once they get hired. That means you can take classes, and they require, you can receive up to 12 credit hours per school year, which is dynamic because it doesn't take you that long to complete a degree, start with your associates, start with your bachelor's, whatever it is that you need. But this is a great way to fund your education.
That's great. And I love, you hit the nail right on the head. I love the idea of being able to ladder up, being able to get, some further education pieces and great. That's great. Quick question that came in for TA, substitute teacher, and school rec. Is there kind of a wage area that you're hiring for within that?
Okay, for this substitute teacher, it generally starts at $130 to $150. It depends on the school, because as I had indicated, that some of them have a longer day. So those that have longer day, it's based on that as far as the actual pay rate. But $130 is usually the base, meaning if it's a school that doesn't have the extended day hours, then that would be $130 per day. But it is rated based on the number of hours for that school. And we have about 5 schools that will fall into that $150 category. But you would know up front because you get to select the schools that you would, the time and everything that you can work.
Great. And how about in terms of is that same for TA as well?
And basically same thing for TA. Now the TA is paid hourly. So basically if you work that extra time, you will be paid extra based on the hourly rate, which is in this case $12.50. And like I said, the minimum requirements would be a high school diploma or GED, and then also if you once you're hired, you can finish up your certification, and then you do get $500. And when you're hired as a permanent teaching assistant, you get an additional $500 stipend to be added to your salary once upon completion of that certification.
That's great.
So it's like an added bonus.
Yeah, I have another question coming in here. They're looking for a little bit more in terms of expectations for the school rec position.
Okay, let me go over that for you. I can do that.
Thank you. We got some great stuff happening in the feed while you do that. Haida, who has said she's got an application in right now, so she's looking forward already to potentially working there, and so that's really excited. But let's hear more about that school rec.
So all I would need is someone, just get me a list of names, and we'll certainly take a look at those.
Yeah.
So these are some of the activities for the rec aide. You assist in some of the programming if they're using it, if they're using you at a rec center or the gymnasium or the playground, and of course, like I said, the cafeteria. And then you would also supervise in those aspects. And you might be asked to operate a movie projector if you're helping out with just in the recreation area. So it's basic things that you could help with if you want to just help with distributing like coloring books or anything of that nature. So it's really just assisting, but trying to keep everyone calm during the interim. It's usually in a confined area where they're just waiting for something to do next. And so this kind of gives you some ideas as to what you can do to help those students during that time.
Yeah, sounds like kind of the ideal person comes in knowing exactly what to do in the off times, right?
Exactly.
They've got duck, duck, goose, in hand, ready to go as soon as things kind of.
And that's exactly what it's like. Different things you might have to do, some crafts, dancing, that sort of thing. Whatever that might be. But there's a number of things that you can help do.
Yeah, if you're a bit of a clown and like to entertain kids, it sounds like this is the place for you.
Absolutely.
That's great. Just give us an idea. We like to kind of demystify the whole process from application to employment. What does that look like? How long does it take? What can they expect? I know we talked about the security clearance and things like that, but within that time frame, what are you expecting to bring people through?
Okay, one of the things that once you receive an offer letter from us, and that offer letter will request that you complete the security clearance process. And basically, everything starts from once we get that particular approval back from New York State Education. So the clock starts when we receive that. We can get you an offer letter. We can get you engage you to be ready to hire, but we do need to have that back before we can actually proceed further. So the clock starts once we receive the security clearance. And once we do receive the security clearance, generally it's about 5 days after that, we have everything in the system, which means that in those 5 days, you're going to be security cleared. We're going to plan to have you come in for a new hire orientation. And I shouldn't say come in physically, but via Zoom to do new hire orientation. And I do actually present the new hire orientation. We go over all the documents that was required, such as the I-9, if you want direct deposit. So we do all of that in new hire orientation. And we also go over our school policies. And not all of them, but the ones that we've selected that are really important for new employees to know about. And then after that, once we're all in the computer and you return all your documents, and that's key too, because we will need to get all your documents so we can get you in the computer and everything set up. And once that happens, you are contacted by our security to pick up your badge. And then you can then set up your email. And your email is usually the very last thing you do. And you must be on a district computer. So we would be helping you with that if need be, or you would just be able to go into the school and get that done. Oh, can't hear you.
That's great. So it's a little bit of a process. If somebody's really motivated to get through it and they're getting back to you quickly, how long do you think from beginning to end before they could be getting a job offer?
If we get an application in the system, it's electronic. You just go right to our career site and just do it electronically, and then we get it screened. And usually, we get a lot of applications. So if there's anyone from this cast today that have an application or putting one in, all you need to do is let me know, and that way we can prioritize and take a look at that. Because I do like to make sure that when we have job applicants that we visit during a job fair, we do want to look at theirs early on.
Great. Yeah, and I'll give you the names that have popped up here on
Okay.
our end, and I'm sure there's others that maybe aren't popping up here, but that's great. And you've really answered a lot of the questions on growth and opportunities. Anything else that you would say on that end of the staff development and retention?
Well, I will say that these jobs are basically it's an entry level, and most of them it's an entry level position. They're entry level positions. However, each of those have a growth potential. I mean, those, like I said, in the bus attendant and the teaching assistant, especially because those are full-time positions, and they come with tuition, and you could begin as the bus attendants can begin as soon as they start. Teacher assistant, we do want you to be certified. That's a requirement in New York State Ed. So as soon as you're done with that, if it only takes you a couple months, then you still get right into taking classes, and that means you get 12 credit hours per school year. And our school year begins July 1st and ends on June 30th. So during that period, you can begin school and use all 12 of your credits.
Okay, great. We did get one more question here. The question says, and I'll see if I can do this justice. What types of skills is the team missing that you're looking to fill with a new hire for bus attendants? I'll put it up on the screen here so you can see it as well if that helps. But what kind of skill sets are you looking for specifically for that?
Basically, I mean, good oral and written instruction, so you can just maybe communicate with each of our students in proper way. You just being able to familiarize yourself with the bus routes, because we need to make sure our kids are getting off at the right locations, and not be somewhere they shouldn't be. And then basically just having the understanding of children and their needs as far as whatever that might be. I mean, because most of the folks that we hire, they usually either have children or they already, been their grandparents. So, those children's skills come in handy in this role.
Yeah, it sounds like if you're safety conscious, you're a protector of kids, and again, probably a little bit more of being able to entertain them or calm them down when necessary. Yeah.
And we do have training for that. Each new bus attendant will be provided safety training to go over, just to make sure that they are familiar with all those techniques. Because we have students that require special assistance on the bus, and they get familiar with certain bus attendants. So we try and keep those students with those bus attendants that they're already familiar with. And that would be that you would be on that same route on all occasions. And if you happen to be out, we just have to know so we can make sure that someone covers that, because they do require someone on the bus with children that have those types of special needs.
That's great. That's great. And are applicants able to choose the school or the kind of the quadrant that they're assigned?
Yes, they are able to do that. Once they're hired, we do have a substitute coordinator. Her name is Lindsay, that actually does that training. And what they do is once they get into the training, the schools comes up with its openings, because usually teachers or TAs, they'll know that they're going to be out for whatever reason that might be. It could be health reason, whatever the case, they know that they're out. So it's already on the calendar, and they can go in proactively and just select times and dates that meets their needs.
Great. Well, thank you, Shirley. Is there anything else you want to add before we say farewell to you today?
Well, it's been great. And I'm glad that you asked me. And I just wanted to add that I am a Syracuse City School District alumni, and I'm proud to be here working with the Syracuse City School District. And I just want to welcome anyone that would like to come. I'm the one that do new hire, so I will be the first one to welcome you here. So certainly, if you do intend to put an application in, just let John know. And then, John, you let me know, and then we'll just make sure we get them in to talk to them.
You got it. I appreciate it so much, Shirley. Thanks for being with us today.
No problem. Thank you for asking me here. All right. Take care, everyone.
So if that's you, you want to be the next Shirley Rowser and working at the school, we really want to encourage you to get that application in, talk to your coach. It's highly important that you communicate with your coach right now and let them know that you're interested in going and being a part of that. If you were thinking, as Shirley mentioned, that $102 fingerprint background check, if your mind right there said, "Oh, I'm out, I can't afford that," I need a job before I can get that. All I want you to know is that your job coaches, as I say this just about every time, are barrier breakers. They know how to get that money to you in a way that you can pay for that. All you have to do is give your coach a call, provide them with an offer letter from Syracuse City School District, and Shirley will make sure that you get that so that you can get that information over to your coach. And give them a call, provide that letter, and give yourself about 24 hours for those funds to be delivered onto your benefits card. And just perfect that they're able to supply that. I mean, your job coaches are absolutely magical. They are problem solvers. If you don't know how to reach your coach, I'm going to do this. I haven't done this yet. I'm going to bring up JobsPlus.org, go to the job seekers page. Okay. And you're gonna scroll through some great things about Jobs Plus, all the different things that we offer right here, some of the upcoming JobsCasts and events that we have here, and some other great things that people say. And we're gonna scroll all the way to the bottom, right past where you could join our private Facebook job seeker group, to where you can contact your coach. So let's say you've gotten that offer letter from Shirley, and you don't know your job coach's name. You can't remember how to get a hold of them. You put your information in here. You can take a picture of your file that you got from Shirley and drop it in here, and that will get it to your coach. I will make sure that it gets to your coach, and you will be kind of off to the races in terms of that. So again, check out our private Facebook job seeker group. If you're enjoying this podcast or JobsCast on YouTube or somewhere else, do us a favor and click subscribe. If it is on YouTube, what I would say is click that red or that little bell as well that's right next to the subscribe button to make sure that you get all of these as they pop up. We want to make sure that you have good opportunity to be a part of these. But if you do that, if you join the Facebook job seeker group, you're going to have some great opportunities that will exclusively come right to you. If you need to find these careers, talk to your job coach, go on to Google and hit Syracuse City School District, and their career page will be available right there on their website. You can apply for those. And thank you for joining us today. Our JobsCast goes actually supposed to go live 3 times a month. But as I said at the very beginning, I've got so many people looking to talk to you and to get in front of you, to offer you positions that we've literally been doing this weekly. And that is just going to continue. I keep plugging away at putting people on the very next time I can put them on. So as all of these openings keep popping up, I want to encourage you. Our next event is next Friday, and we will have from Amazon a number of job openings. They're going to come on and talk to us about all of that. And literally, as we're sitting here, I received a text from them that said jobs with flexible shifts and work perks available at Amazon in East Syracuse for $15 an hour. You can sign up for text updates on Amazon and they'll get the information out to you. So with all that, I just want to encourage you once again, think about your future, think about your kids, think about the opportunities that are open to you right now. And really, let's just get back to work. I'm really excited to see what comes out of today. This was a highly anticipated, highly registered for JobsCast, so I'm excited to see a number of you get roles in the Syracuse City School District. So let's get to work.